This has to be fairly challenging because, like, once you get to like 13th level, that's when things get real, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So during the writing process, I was able to work really closely with the two other writers who wrote Asian-inspired settings. So Miyuki Jane Pinkard wrote Umizu, which is one of the new civilizations that have been discovered, and then Stephanie Yoon wrote Sins of Our Elders, which takes place in Yeonido, which is the Korean-inspired setting. And the three of us created a mythology of three dragon siblings that had simultaneously descended and founded these three separate civilizations that are nonetheless somewhat interconnected. And so there was a lot of discussion amongst ourselves, inspiration. In the past, when writing about my own culture, I have definitely felt the stakes of making sure that that things are nicely represented. That there's a pressure not to make sure that there's nothing too bad said, and that sometimes has barred me from writing like really good villains, or like being able to take a kind of critical look at some elements of my culture that like maybe weren't so healthy, and having two other writers from the Asian backgrounds. And then just all the other writers on the project to talk to about this kind of thing was really helpful. And I think as a result, the book is much richer, and we go places that we might not have felt comfortable, right? There, like, our cultures are wonderfully represented, and there are bad people, and there's corruption, and there's like, nastiness there that I think is going to make for some really good plots. And I think there was a freedom and a joy in just going there and representing our cultures like fully, because we had the support of each other. So I wrote the adventure Buried Dynasty, which is the 13th level adventure, and it takes place in a city called Yongjing, which is the capital of this very, very old civilization called Great Qing. And the thing about Great Qing is that the age of this civilization is a source of great pride, and the continuity of that civilization is something that the people think about all the time. And so the capital city has been built on the same location every time there's a new dynasty. The same architecture gets updated, renewed to the new ruler's tastes, but it's very important that it's in the same place and we're the same great land that's gone back centuries and centuries. But what that means is that underneath all the buildings, there's tons of stuff. There's old architecture, there's tunnels going down, there's a lot of stuff to be excavated that sometimes might not be what you would want to bring to the surface, and sometimes might be really, really beneficial. So there are often expeditions that go into the past. And Buried Dynasty is one of these expeditions, in which, because the characters are at 13th level, the Grand Secretary Wei, who runs the entire government on behalf of the Emperor, she is personally hiring them to escort her expedition into a part of the city that's particularly treacherous. It's newly discovered, and she believes that the knowledge that's down there from a previous dynasty is going to be really beneficial to the current one. But the thing is, she doesn't actually know what's down there. She's just making her best guess as to which adventurers are going to be best equipped for what she needs.
Are we looking at like a dungeon crawl, or is this a different take on a dungeon crawl?
It is a dungeon crawl, but it is like many things in the old city. There have been so many dynasties prior that what went down in the past is really unknown, and so not just the things that you might find, but the things that you learn about the history is often a wild card.
Was there one kind of feeling that you were trying to capture in all of this, like you just wanted to nail?
Yeah, I really wanted players to feel like they were part of something really grand, really weighty. The weight of the history, the weight of the the magnitude of the things that are happening around them, and the magnitude of the stakes for the people that are hiring them. So I wanted very much for this to be something that is personally important to the Grand Secretary. It's not just like a side thing that's happening in the city. This is the fate of the stability of the whole country.
If you liked this interview and you'd like to see more, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell symbol so you're notified anytime a video like this comes out. Thank you so much for watching.